Hello, this is Geese. Welcome back to the channel. This video is uh, prepared for to summarize the round of 31 of Italian Serie A. Thank you, all of you, for whoever watched my video and whoever give me a like or commented on the video. It was really great opportunity in the first video. I'm looking forward to give you a brief summary for this fiery and important round of 31. This will be a summary for Serie A, the round of 31, and I will start and will cover game. I will speak about especially about the big games and also Genoa versus Udinese. Actually, Genoa and Udinese, it is always great to watch Genoa when they play home. Genoa will be able to beat Udinese by 1-0, 1-0, and Zanoli, the ex-player of Sampdoria, scored the goal. In general, Genoa was the better side during the game. Never forget that always Genoa, they can take benefit of the crowd behind them. So, as we know, Genoa, always a team, is difficult in their stadium, and Genoa is a team who know how to compete against the big teams and always create a lot of troubles for Juve, for Milan, for Inter, for all the teams, the big teams, Roma, who plays in their home. The second game, which has to be, I would like to cover in this video, it will be Parma versus Inter. Actually, we saw in this game totally different two halves. At the end of the game, so the game tied as 2-2, and we watched totally different two halves. Overall, it was a fair result, and I can say in the first half, Inter were the better side. They were more clinical. They were be able to score two goals through Turam and Darmian. But in the second half, in the second half, Parma came back to the game, and Parma will be able to come back to the game after a spectacular shot outside of the box from the Spanish player Bernabe. Actually, Bernabe scored one of the most beautiful goals in Serie A in this week, and it is it helped Parma to come back to the game, and it brought kind of dot to the Interista during the game. So after the second goal, Inter could not turn after Parma came back to the first goal. Then Parma scored the second goal just in a margin of 7 or 8 minutes, and after that, Inter could not turn things around in the game because Inter did not have the mental and physical ability to win the game because they have a UEFA Champions League battle in München against Bayern München. So they tried to save their efforts to the big game in München. Add to that, the second reason was the shock of the way Parma, so Inter could not came back and dominate the game again against Parma because they were more mentally in the München for the game in UEFA Champions League. The second thing is the shock of the way Parma tied the game. The third game in this, which was also a very beautiful and interesting game, AC Milan versus Fiorentina in the San Siro. Unfortunately, there is not much to talk about AC Milan in this round because AC Milan continued to suffer and to have miserable performances. And also, in the first half, especially in the first 20 minutes, Fiorentina, the Viola had taken advantage of AC Milan's status Inter Milan looks confused, looks scattered, looks without identity, in and off the field, problems we all know. And also, the other thing is AC Milan lacked their real identity. AC Milan used to fight for UEFA Champions League and top spots in the league in Serie A, Calcio Serie A. It tied at 2-2. Inter could come back through a goal from in the before the end of the first half, so that helped them. And the second goal game came from the Serbian player Jovic. And after that, the game was like tied at 2-2. Fiorentina lost 2 points. It could help them to continue fighting for a spot in the Champions League. The fourth game, which was very also important game for spots in the to qualify for Champions League next year, it was the game between Atalanta versus Lazio in Bergamo. So Lazio had a deserved win. They played very realistically. They played very in a very smart way and very they kept their shape. They defended very well, and also things which helped them the mental state of Atalanta. Atalanta, as we know, still under the shock of exiting the Champions League against Club Brugge in the round of in the playoffs. And also the other factor is that Gianpiero Gasparini, Atalanta's coach, is going to depart at the end of the season. So Lazio just will be able to score a one goal in the beginning of the second half, and they will be able to manage the game. And it seems to me that Atalanta problems are mounting, and they are more near to drop from the top four into maybe fifth or sixth. Nobody knows, but Atalanta looks seventh or eighth spot in the league, and maybe they will not qualify to Champions League next year. The other game was Juventus game. So Juventus actually played against Roma. Roma in Olimpico in the in the in the in El Olimpico. So that game was very tight game with a lot of mixed emotions for both teams. But the main point in this game was that both Roma and Juventus feared to lose more than their desire to win, because both teams knows a lose in that game against each other will ruin their opportunity to qualify to Champions League next year. So Juventus was slightly the better side in the first half, especially in the first half, and they will be able to score a goal. So the game tied at 1-1 at the end. There, I'm giving you now the end result. So why this game ended 1-1? Because both teams did not want to lose, so they keep their hopes in qualifying for Champions League next year. So, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you the standings and the points of the teams. So I can put you in the picture, and looks to me that this year Serie A will be very tight in the terms of qualifying to UEFA Champions League or on the title race. So overall, it was a fair result. It was only the second game for Igor Tudor, and Tudor played, let's say, in the first half more with passion, tried to score a goal, and Juventus will be able to score a goal through Locatelli. We felt like Juventus is better than their situation when they were with Mota, but there is a much work to do. The last game of this, the Monday night game, was between Bologna versus Napoli in Renato Dell'Ara. So, so Napoli, so it tied at 1-1, and Antonio Conte lost a golden opportunity to decrease the points difference between him and Inter. So the difference stayed at 3 points between Inter and Milan. So the first half, Napoli will be able to snatch a goal after a personal talent from Anguissa, who I can say scored a goal on a Maradona style. So he scored very good, very spectacular goal. In the second half, it was totally different story. So Vincenzo Italiano, the coach of Bologna, I think he gave the order to his player to press and play high line on Napoli. So they will be able to score a very beautiful goal through Ndoye, the Swiss player. So, and we noticed that Napoli in the last 30 minutes of the game, they were not being able they will not be able to do 3 or 4 passes in one attack. So Bologna played very well and they pressed Napoli in all parts of the field, and especially so it was really difficult for Napoli to retain the ball. And the Bologna looks very energetic, very determined, very eager to get the win. But the game tied at 1-1, and the both team lost in this game because both they dropped 2 points. So at the end of the round of 31, the standing will be Inter will be first by 68 points, Napoli second by 65 points, and here is the Champions League spots. So only 5 points between, only I can say 6 points between the third and the eighth. So Atalanta third by 58 points, Napoli, Bologna fourth by 57 points, Juventus fifth by 56 points, Lazio sixth by 55 points, Roma seventh with 53 points, and Fiorentina is 52 in the eighth spot. By the time AC Milan is 48 points. That's everything for today. I thank you for whoever give me like or subscribe. And please, if you like my video, don't forget to give the like thumb and subscribe to my channel. And see you in next video. And God bless you.